path playing to his paranoia. He gets paid a huge amount, even if he doesn't win. Yet Harry went into this believing he would win and wanting to prove he was not stupid.
After suffering estrangement from both King Charles and his brother William, Harry recently shocked and threatened both the royal family and the entire British people by writing the second part of his explosive memoir, Spare. The bomb explodes the last fragile wall for Harry in the UK. Prince Harry is expected to write a second part of his memoir, Spare, due to its commercial success, but this could hinder the possibility of reconciliation with the royal family. Experts Robert Hardman and Kinsey Schofield suggest that a second part could be in the pipeline, with Harry pursuing the project despite the health conditions of his father, King Charles, and sister-in-law Kate Middleton, who are both undergoing treatment, cancer. From the moment Harry announced the writing of Spare, he was putting himself at risk by testing the limits of the royal family's tolerance. The release of the second part of this memoir is just a bolder step, as he confidently stands up to sever all links with his roots. But I am sure that in this war, the royal family is not actually the one who suffered losses, but the one who suffered was Harry. By putting himself at odds with his family and cutting himself off from all connections, Harry is falling into isolation and emotional loss. People not only in England but also around the world have gradually understood the deceitful nature and tricks of Harry and his wife. Through many events, from controversial interviews to protests from the royal family, they have witnessed a series of actions that appear to be playing with public trust. One of the notable points was the world's reaction to Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah Winfrey. During their conversation, they reveal the darker aspects of life in the royal palace and talk about their deep emotions. However, some people have raised questions about the veracity of what they say, especially after some claims were disputed or had no evidence to back them up. In addition, many people felt disappointed by the way Harry and Meghan handled some situations, such as not attending the royal funeral or publishing private details on social media. These actions seem to have created a distance between them and the public, making people feel distrustful and skeptical about their true intentions. Therefore, they learned a valuable lesson about not blindly trusting an individual or group of people, but instead evaluating all information objectively and with certainty first, when making decisions. This applies especially to Harry and Meghan, when the information they give is 99.99% unreliable. If it doesn't bring benefits in terms of reputation and money, they will definitely stick their mouths in Los Angeles. They should not think that everyone is so stupid that everyone will believe whatever they say. You are stupid because you don't understand anything about the times and society. Harry tries out part 2 of Spare, I Dare You. Your life will end immediately. There will be no more room for independent play and unsuccessful struggles. You have gone too far, beyond the boundaries of respect and responsibility. By writing defamation and betrayal, you not only hurt your family but also lose the trust of millions of people around the world. Life isn't just about antagonizing people and making waves, it's also about building strong and meaningful relationships. You chose the wrong path, and now the consequences of those actions are approaching. You will not be able to run away from what you have sown. Don't expect it to be forgiven or forgotten. Every action has its consequences, and you must be responsible for what you have done. King Charles has treated you too gently, and it seems you still do not understand what retribution is. But don't worry, I hope you get part 2 of Spare soon, because everything that follows will teach you what suffering is. You were too confident and fearless about your responsibilities and consequences. Now is the time to face what you have sown and accept the consequences of those actions. Oh no, okay, fine. I think that nothing will stop him from writing Spare 2, that is his name. He was a spare one to his brother, and now he is his spare 2 to his 43% Nigerian wife. She wears the pants in their relationship, so he just hangs around as the spare. In the end, it is all about the money. These two would sell their fathers if the price was right. As a matter of fact, these two individuals are revolting. I can still accept what the 43% Nigerian does, taking into consideration her background, especially her Nigerian roots. But the spare, with his entitled upbringing with a silver spoon in his mouth, is hard to figure. He just stepped down to her level instead of lifting her to his. I really feel sorry for his family. As I mentioned above, if he publishes another book rubbishing the royals, the majority of the British public will ignore the contents. It confirms to many what they already think of him, that he is a spoiled, privileged, and untalented man-child who misunderstands his position in the world. After leaving the royal to fold, he needs a reality check and learn to come to terms with the reality of real-life fame and celebrity, if that is what he wishes is gained through talent and energy, both of which he appears to have in short supply. I thought the reason for him moving to America was to lead a normal family life away from the pressure of constant publicity and scrutiny by the media. What happened to that ideal? The reality is that the royal family is not the one who wants to reconcile with Harry and Meghan, but it is Harry and Meghan who need reconciliation. They need the royal family to make money, while they do not bring any benefit to the royal family. Therefore, the royal family does not need to pay too much attention to that traitorous couple. It's very possible that the idea of part 2 of Spare was also instigated by Meghan to Harry. She wanted Harry to be officially broken, not related to his family, then leave Harry, and from then on Harry's life was hell. Besides, I wonder if the publishers would cough up more money as they didn't make a profit from his last offering. I heard they actually lost money. If they did publish any more of his fantasy maunderings, I hope they pay as and when each book is actually bought by a member of the public. I understand that usually the boxes of books ordered by retailers Waterstones, Amazon, W.H. Smith, Kinsey are classed as sold, even if left on the shop's bookshelves and later returned to the publishers. Or another development could take place. He isn't going to write it. It will be ghostwritten by a writer, someone who can't write and string two ideas together. It is written about him because of who he was dropped by, not because he has ever done anything of any significance in his own right. Wonder if his lovely, kind wife has popped around to see her dad to check he's okay and not feeling lonely or anything. So right away, Harry, and no one will be shocked or surprised at what you make up as factual information in your next ghostwritten book. You outed yourself. Not only with the first book, but with every breath you take as a sniffling man-child who is still moaning and acting that no one but you lost a parent, are not the apple of their parent's eye, or have been disciplined strictly. Get over yourself, peanut. Maybe Harry is complaining about the royal family not singing his praises and recognizing his faux tour of Nigeria, while at the same time he is threatening to produce another book of lies. Sounds a bit like blackmail to me, and I think the royal family is wise in continuing to grey rock the Harkles. You know that it's well known William has said he has carried Harry his whole life. After the Sidis duo left for Canada Us, he let go of Harry. Can you imagine the stories William could tell about his brother? Now there's a book we would read. So we should thank Harry for saving us time, right? It's confusing. Why would he risk it and alienate himself even further? The where can we make money mindset of these two is clearly losing their popularity everywhere, not just in the UK. Also, I'm sure it was not best-selling. The retailers went crazy and bought them, but hardly any sales. And will this book be fiction or non-fiction after all his lawyers told a visa court hearing the last book wasn't really true? To be honest, backgrounding is actually a stage in cattle production, quite apt though, as we have a spare bull in the china shop who wed an unpleasant old backward walksy. I am usually very polite, but the bad treatment meted out to members of the royal family, her own family, and other poor souls by this gigantic ego has really got my goat. The world has never seen the like. It feels like a female version of Quatermass is on the prowl. Once again, I really want to know, do you really believe your lines? Couldn't leave him alone? Sorry, sweetie, wake up. The monarchy is doing very well without him, her both. Time for you guys to accept it. We've seen how their service for the crown turned into, and their laughable approach to trying to establish whatever in Nigeria miserably failed, turned into Niagara Falls. Captain Harry this rank after 10 years of service, and his book was another laughable example. And no info was given on how many copies were actually sold. Not how many were printed, distributed. Describes the personal details of other members, but asks if anybody would release information about him. He can write another 49 books as far as anybody is concerned. Nobody does believe him. Well, apart from your Essex squad, that is. I wonder if everyone thinks like me. Leave a comment below and say that people think like me and I'm not alone. I love you so much. Thank you very much for watching our video. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.